Egyptian blue, often considered the first synthetic pigment in human history, is a remarkable material that dates back thousands of years. First developed by ancient Egyptians around 2600 BCE, this vibrant pigment was highly prized for its luminous quality and durability. It was made by heating a mixture of sand, copper compounds, and alkalis, resulting in a brilliant blue substance that could be ground into powder and used in a variety of applications, from wall paintings to statues. Over time, it became widely adopted by ancient Greek and Roman artists, who valued its versatility and aesthetic appeal. However, with the collapse of the Roman Empire, Egyptian blue seemed to vanish from the artistic tradition, leading many historians to believe that its use had been entirely forgotten. For centuries, this assumption remained unchallenged. Egyptian blue was thought to belong exclusively to the ancient world, a lost relic of past civilizations. However, recent scientific advancements and interdisciplinary research have revealed a fascinating truth: Egyptian blue did not entirely disappear. In fact, it experienced a remarkable revival during the Renaissance, an era characterized by the rediscovery of antiquity and a profound admiration for the classical world. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for this revival lies in the work of Giovanni Battista Benvenuto and Raphael, two renowned Renaissance artists. Benvenuto's 1524 painting Saint Margaret and Raphael's 1512 fresco The Triumph of Galatea both feature the unmistakable traces of Egyptian blue. This discovery has profound implications, as it suggests that Renaissance artists were not only inspired by the visual splendor of classical antiquity but also sought to emulate and even revive its technical practices. To understand how Egyptian blue resurfaced during the Renaissance, we must first consider the cultural and intellectual context of the period. The Renaissance was a time of renewed interest in the art, philosophy, and science of the ancient world. Scholars, architects, and artists alike sought to uncover and study the remnants of Roman and Greek civilization. Among these remnants was the Domus Aurea, or Golden House, the lavish palace built by Emperor Nero in the 1st century CE. The Domus Aurea, buried beneath centuries of debris, was rediscovered during the late 15th century. Although it was partially excavated, access to the site was difficult and often dangerous. Nevertheless, Renaissance artists such as Raphael and Domenico Ghirlandaio were known to have entered the ruins, sometimes illegally, to study the frescoes that adorned its walls. These frescoes, preserved in the darkness, provided a window into the artistic achievements of ancient Rome. The vibrant colors and intricate designs left a profound impression on these artists, inspiring them to incorporate classical motifs and techniques into their own work. It is in this context that Egyptian blue re-enters the story. The frescoes of the Domus Aurea, like many Roman artworks, featured Egyptian blue prominently. Renaissance artists, captivated by the vividness of these ancient colors, appear to have sought ways to replicate them. Scientific analyses of Renaissance paintings and frescoes have confirmed that Egyptian blue was used intentionally, rather than accidentally, during this period. One of the most significant examples of this intentional use is Raphael's The Triumph of Galatea, a fresco painted in 1512 for the Villa Farnesina in Rome. This masterpiece depicts the mythological sea nymph Galatea riding a shell-driven chariot pulled by dolphins, surrounded by a dynamic composition of sea creatures and cherubs. Modern analytical techniques, such as X-ray fluorescence and infrared spectroscopy, have detected traces of Egyptian blue in the fresco, particularly in the depiction of the skies and the water. The pigment was used to enhance the depth and luminosity of these elements, creating a sense of vibrancy and movement that was characteristic of Raphael's style. Similarly, in Giovanni Battista Benvenuto's Saint Margaret, painted in 1524, Egyptian blue was used to achieve rich and striking tones, particularly in the figure's garments and background details. These discoveries challenge the notion that Egyptian blue was entirely forgotten after antiquity. Instead, they reveal that Renaissance artists had access to this ancient material and understood its unique properties. But how did these artists acquire Egyptian blue? Some scholars suggest that they may have stumbled upon remnants of the pigment in the ruins of Roman sites, such as the Domus Aurea. Others believe that Renaissance craftsmen managed to replicate the ancient recipe for Egyptian blue, rediscovering the process through experimentation and study. Regardless of how it was obtained, the use of Egyptian blue during the Renaissance underscores the period's deep engagement with the classical past. But how did these artists acquire Egyptian blue? Some scholars suggest that they may have stumbled upon remnants of the pigment in the ruins of Roman sites, such as the Domus Aurea. Others believe that Renaissance craftsmen managed to replicate the ancient recipe for Egyptian blue, rediscovering the process through experimentation and study. Regardless of how it was obtained, the use of Egyptian blue during the Renaissance underscores the period's deep engagement with the classical past. In conclusion, the presence of Egyptian blue in Renaissance art serves as a testament to the ingenuity and curiosity of artists like Raphael and Benvenuto. Their willingness to delve into the ruins of the ancient world, to study and adopt its techniques, reflects the Renaissance spirit of exploration and innovation. Through their work, Egyptian blue, a pigment born in the sands of ancient Egypt, found new life in the hands of Renaissance masters, bridging the gap between two eras of artistic brilliance.